Alright guys, so what I got for you today is the Stoeger 8000 Cougar 9mm. And this is Anthony with RG Reviews, and we're going to do a little review on this pistol today. This is actually my personal favorite pistol, the one that I own anyway. And let's get started. First thing I'm going to do, of course, is show you the breakdown, disassembly, and reassembly of the weapon. We're going to need to safety check the weapon. Magazine is empty. Chamber is empty as well. And this is the easiest pistol to break down, pretty much that's out there. So to break it down, all you do, you got a little lever right here and one right here, and you press this lever in, rotate this, slide comes right off. That's it. It's way easy. So then what you got here is you have your lug and your recoil spring, which is a captive recoil spring. Set that off to the side. You also have your barrel, which is a rotating barrel. And this is going to come right out just like that. And if you look at the lug on this, see how different that is than an actual like a tilting barrel system, like a Browning tilting barrel. It's way different. And this barrel actually rotates when the slide is retracted or when you fire around. Now in the slide you have is just your basic slide. Not a lot of fancy stuff in there. Just your basic stuff. That's it. So for reassembly, it's the exact opposite. You're going to take your barrel. Make sure that this single slot right here is facing down, and that goes. You're going to turn it until there'll be a slot right here. See where that pivot, that divot is, and that should be facing directly up. Now your lug, which if you notice right here has an arrow on it, that's going to face the direction that the muzzle should be pointing. That's the way you want to install it. So you're going to get your recoil guide rod right there. It's going to go into that slot just like any other pistol. And then it's going to fit right on top just like that. Fit right into that little notch. You take your frame, and you're going to line your frame up with the rest of it. Go ahead and slide it forward. Retract the slide a little. Rotate the lever. You're reassembled. Decock. Magazine in. Locks to the back just like it should. Alright, and that's disassembly and reassembly of the weapon. Now for specifics of this gun, we're going to talk about the magazine and capacity. You have a 15 round all steel blued magazine, and or a phosphate coated magazine, sorry. And these magazines are really nice. They're, if you see right there, it'll show you the Model 8000 9mm Parabellum. I've never had a problem with these magazines. A lot of guns that you get, you'll have magazine issues, not necessarily with every magazine, but like I've owned a Taurus 24/7 and 24/7 Pro in 45, and one of the magazines had a problem. I owned another 24/7 and 45 was the OSS Tactical, and the same company, same magazines, and one of my magazines with that gun had a problem as well. Of course, I have Caltech P11. I've had a problem with one of those magazines. Never had a problem with Glock magazine, but yeah, and I've never had a problem with this magazine. I believe they're made by Metcar. I could be wrong. They could be just, I know they're made in Italy, but you know, you never know. So this is what we got so far. I'm just going to show you. You have a safety / decocker. So if the weapon is cocked as it is right now, the decocker, you just press this down and the weapon will decock, and it is in safe mode now. When it's in fire mode, you'll be able to tell that by the red dot there. You have your slide release. So with the slide lock back, in order to release the slide, you have your lever right here. This will release the slide, or you can just use the grooves here and use the slide as a slide release itself. Now this is a double action, single action pistol, which means that for your first round, unless it's already cocked, you're going to have a long, and this is, by the way, I think I already showed you, this is unloaded. So you're going to have a long double action trigger pull. This is kind of heavy. I don't really have a trigger gauge, and I'm not just gonna, throw a number out there, but it's heavy. It is kind of smooth, so it's not that big of a deal. But your very first trigger pull is going to be a heavier double action trigger pull. Of course, the second rounds and all the consequent rounds that you fire after that will be in single action mode. And this is actually where this gun really shines, because this trigger pull is seriously one of the smoothest, lightest trigger pulls that I've ever felt on a regular size service pistol. If you notice, the Glock has kind of a mushy trigger. It's a nice trigger, but it's kind of a mushy trigger right up until the point where it actually breaks, and that's probably because it's a striker fired. with some other firearms. SIG has a trigger very similar to this. Beretta 92s, they have a trigger very similar to this. This is actually the best trigger I've ever used though on a semi-automatic pistol, and I really do like it a lot. If you feel that, you can't feel it, but I can feel it. If you feel that, it just breaks. There's nothing to it. It just breaks with nothing. There's no creep. There's no anything. It just snaps and that's it. Reset is pretty nice, and the way you can check your reset on your pistol is you'll take it, pull the trigger, and of course your hammer will go forward, and then you're going to rack your slide, and when your slide comes back, slowly release your trigger, and when it clicks, that's your reset. So my reset is right there at about maybe a little less than a 1/4 inch of travel back, so that's pretty decent. This gun is 100% absolutely reliable for me, 100%. And I'm talking about whether it be jacket hollow points, full metal jackets, aluminum case, steel cased, every single kind of pretty much jacket hollow point that you could imagine firing out of this, I have fired out of this gun. For a long time, when I first started shooting pistols and really started getting into pistols, which was 4 or 5 years ago, I pretty much bought some full metal jackets, but I had more fun shooting hollow points. Probably just the thought of shooting a hollow point was more fun to me. So I spent a whole lot of money buying hollow points, and I would put just about anything I could put through here, everywhere from power balls to regular DPX, Rangers, just really anything, Federal, anything you could possibly think of. I put through this gun. Fiocchi, almost every kind of Fiocchi that I could find, I put through this gun. I haven't had a single problem with it whatsoever. It's extremely accurate. It's very easy to shoot. Low recoil. The grip is great. I know a lot of people do not like the Beretta 92 grip. I personally love the Beretta 92 grip. I have large size hands, so a Beretta 92 grip is no problem to me whatsoever. It's just really comfortable. It gives you a good solid grasp. The bore axis is a little higher than on maybe a Glock or well, a Glock, not an XD. I was going to say XD, but XD's bore axis is actually really high. But the bore axis is a little high, but I don't notice it whatsoever. When I'm firing the gun, I can't tell the difference. It just recoils very little, and it stays on target. It's easy to dump the whole magazine really quick. It has an aluminum frame. This entire frame is aluminum, and a steel slide. And then, of course, it is a hammer-fired gun. So this, the weight of this pistol, I believe, is just at 29 ounces. 29 ounces, I believe, is the weight of the pistol without a magazine. So it is kind of a chunky gun, even though it does have an aluminum frame. It is kind of a chunky gun, but I really like that because it soaks up a lot of that recoil, like I was saying earlier. As far as the sights are concerned, you have simple 3-dot sights, which are easy to get used to, easy to use. I mean, pretty much any pistol that you buy today is going to have 3-dot sights. Like I said, the Taurus that I had before had Heine straight 8s, and I didn't like them. And the Glock, of course, has the dot with outline, and I really like those too. But 3-dot sights are pretty much universal. Anybody can pick up a gun, and if they've had any kind of pistol experience, they're already pretty much comfortable with the sights. It is an ambidextrous safety and decocker, so you can use it on both sides. Of course, I'm right-handed, so I'm not too worried about that. The grip is these are plastic checkered grips. Now, originally, I actually placed a Hogue handall grip onto this gun to give me a little better grip, and it filled up my hand a little better with the palm swells and the finger grooves. Now, I liked it a lot, but when I was shooting with gloves, or if I would wear gloves, it was like I didn't really have a very good grip on it. My finger was kind of reaching for the trigger. I just felt like somebody could wrestle it away from me easily. So I got rid of that. I no longer use the Hogue handles on this. Besides, the grip is pretty much perfect for me. Like I said, 15 round capacity. You can put them on target with this very easy. This is definitely a reliable gun. It's easy to carry. There are holster options out there for it. You're going to have to look around for them because it's not like a Glock. You're not going to find them at every single website. But there are holster options for you. We're going to get to this rotating barrel right here, and I'm just going to show you the action real quick. I'm not really... They say that it makes the gun more accurate because the barrel is always in alignment with the sights 100% of the time, because the barrel never tilts when the slide moves to the rear. However, I really don't think that that's any kind of an issue whatsoever, because when you fire a gun, the recoil is going to bring your entire gun off from target in the first place. So then by the time the pistol is back in alignment and your sights are back in alignment with the target, your barrel is already forward, and therefore the barrel is no longer tilting away from the target. But if you notice here, when I start to pull back the slide, you'll see how that lug is going to turn counterclockwise, and it doesn't turn very much, but it turns just enough to lock that lug that's right here on top into a slot that's in the slide, and this will allow the slide to move back. And of course, once the slide moves back, it's going to strip off another cartridge from the magazine, and when it comes forward, it's going to load that cartridge into the chamber, and you're going to be ready to go again. This gun is very affordable. When I bought it, I believe it was $330, so after tax I paid about $340 for it. It's a great gun. For the price, you really can't beat it, honestly, because I've never had any kind of problems with this gun whatsoever. Now, I've looked at a lot of the reviews online for it. There's not that many, but the reviews that I could find have said pretty much the same thing, that it's 100% reliable. People talk about getting 4-inch groups at 25 yards for accuracy. I'm pretty sure that's just a shooter, because I have no problems with this gun getting a lot smaller groups than that. I can make headshots with this gun at 40, 50 yards, if I do my part, of course. And I just really think that this gun is a lot more high quality than a lot of people will give it credit for. Now, this is pretty much an exact replica, or not a replica, but a copy of the Beretta 8000 Cougar, which was manufactured, I believe, in the late 80s to the early 90s, until Beretta discontinued the model. They then sold the rights to Stoeger Industries, which is a company out of Turkey, and they then sold the model to a company out of Turkey, and Stoeger Industries actually distributed this gun. For the price, you can't beat it, especially considering that if you wanted to buy this gun as a Beretta in Beretta form, you'd be looking at anywhere from $700 to $800. And now that they don't produce them, you're pretty much going to stay right about there, $800 or even more. This has a Brunatone finish, and the Brunatone finish, if you can see here, I'll show you a couple. I have a couple scratches on the Brunatone finish, so it's not 100% impervious. It's not like Tennifer. The Tennifer on my Glock is pretty much indestructible. I've never been able to damage it at all. But the Brunatone finish can be kind of messed with, can be tarnished. I don't have any rust on the gun, of course, and then with an aluminum frame, you don't really have to worry about that anyway. But yeah, this gun is a very good, high quality, semi-high capacity. I wouldn't really call it a high capacity. 15 rounds. It would have been high capacity maybe 20 years ago, but at this date and time, 15 rounds is really more the capacity of a compact pistol. But for what you need to get done, this will work. This gun also does take Beretta 92 magazines, and so that means that if you don't want to pay, buku bucks for $35, $40 for a Stoeger factory magazine or a Beretta factory magazine for the Cougar, you can always find at surplus stores Beretta M9 magazines, military surplus, and they will work in this firearm. Overall, great pistol, great accuracy. Coming up very soon, we will have a shoot, and we're going to go out to the range, and we're going to show you a couple of the guns that we've already reviewed in action, and hopefully this one will go along with us. I just went and bought a whole bunch of ammo, like 600 rounds of 9mm, and so this should definitely be out there having fun with us. Well, I appreciate y'all watching, and I hope that you enjoyed the review, and I hope that if you see this gun in the stores or in a pawn shop at any time in the near future, you will give this in consideration as far as the next pistol to purchase, because this is really one of the best quality pistols out there for the price range that you're going to find. Thanks a lot. Once again, this is Anthony with RG Reviews, and y'all have a great day.